Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing some good old fashioned 3v3 arena. We are playing Destro SP, which is honestly at the moment is actually very strong. Now there are downsides, for example, boomies and demos are completely we barely beat them. It's very rare that we do beat them, but on occasions you'll see that we do end up beating them, but obviously it's more like a fluke. Demos are very strong at the moment. You would think Destro would be able to just slaughter a demo, but so here this guy's DC'd at the start. We're like, okay, good, we can get this out of the way. Fortunately, he came back. That being said, anytime you face a Frost DK, your main goal should be sitting behind a pillar the entire game. Now, you have to come out eventually, but again, you're literally AFK. Now, they go the SP, which is worst case scenario for them. Letting a lock free cast in general is always bad, especially a Destro Warlock at that. So here we open. The DK has already done his burst, so really bad for them, because their only win case scenario is if they kill me. So the fact that they did all of that, they lost this game regardless. It was already over. It was over by the time they even realized it. So here we're doing big damage to the warrior here. We're usually killing the warrior mainly because one, no AMS, and then two, obviously the warrior can't click anything to save himself. Dab of the swords, that my casters can hit right through that. The DK has AMS and he has stuff to counter it. He's actually running AoE AMS, so he actually kinda does have AMS, but still. Pretty much need one more solid go. He has nobody that dab of the sword, so here we get a full rep. Really insane rep. I'm gonna gate off that, and then here we're just gonna do big damage and kill him. And you'll see it's a lot of damn. 1 CC chain, and even through it, the lock literally just solos him through everything. And that's what happens when my lock actually clicks damage abilities. So here, another game here, we're facing a Demo Warlock. In this video, we end up beating two Demos. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure it's literally the same team. Again, it's more of a fluke. We literally we could not beat Boomy Demo. We couldn't do it. I think we've beat it one time. They beat us like 30 times. It's like, it's not even, it's just not even fair. But regardless, the only bad news to queuing high rated or even 2400 plus right now is there's really nobody queuing. We queue into maybe two teams max, and it's usually we get countered and then we beat the team. So it's like we're at a big disadvantage. So here I try to getting a rep. Unfortunately, we get full feared. So again, you're always usually running rep here because it's just good to run. Um, Especially when you're playing with like a lock and an SP, because you know that's how it is. So here I magic pop them. So we magic pop. Magic Pop is just good to do in general because it can't be purged. Now it can be um, Mass Dispel, but usually they're not gonna do that. They'll save it for my bubble. So it's like, you know, whatever. So we get a full Magic Pop, which is insane for us. At this point, um, my guys have a really bad habit of lining their CC up and then just not just killing. A lot of the times, my guys should just be able to kill through air. So here I get a full rep, which allows us to get all three trinkets. So we pretty much got every CD off that rep, which is how we won the game here. But what we should just be doing is my lock and SP should literally just be able to solo somebody in a stun silence. It shouldn't even take that. That's how fat, like just like versus that warrior game. It doesn't matter. Even if they use CDs, they should still die. That's how broken Destro is. As long as you're actually doing damage and you're not focusing purely off CC, I'm telling you, you'll be able to just kill just like that. Because every game that we kept waiting for our lock setup, and we waited and waited, we lost those games. They're focusing so much on these CC chains, like they're acting like they're RMP. It's just the most delusional stuff. So had we not done that and we played just normally and just played like a dampener team and just did damage, we would have actually won a lot of these games that we might have, you know, we lost a lot of games because we just couldn't finish a kill. Um, so here we end up trying to rep here, always trying to get the rep. I'm gonna fake cast it. The reason I fake cast it is because my guy's fearing. He went to stun fear. The game should be over at this point. I don't know if he lives this, so I rep him off the fear. Now the game should be over because obviously I have 2 DR fears off that, so it looks like my rep did overlap it, but at the same time the game was over. Um, the moment that they stop having big walls and trinkets, the game is pretty much ours. It's just getting those cooldowns is the hard part because it's like at times we have unhealable damage and then Other times we literally just cannot kill anything. Everything will survive at 5% and we'll lose. Most of our losses, 9 times out of 10, we get them to 5% with a full CC chain, with a full rep, with a full fear, with a full stun, with a full silence, and we literally cannot finish a kill. And it's like, bro. So those are the games that we lose. So here we get a DR fear. I don't know what that was. I don't know why that was DR, but he might have. So that another example. Just the most random burst damage that you didn't even need CC to kill. So we had our little CC chain that he was gonna trinket anyway, and by the time he trinketed, the guy was already dead. So it's like that's how fast a Destro SP can just kill somebody in one bolt. Another example of an instant game is of again a fluke. If we play really good and we do a lot of damage, we can win this. But again, usually we lose versus Demo. It's just it's way too hard to get around, especially when there's a shaman on the team. You're going 10-second kick, grounding totem, and then Demo lock perma CC, which destroys Lock's casting ability. I have the hiccups. So here we get feared. Off this, usually I like to sack, so here I Hodge him, we get Trinket for free. The reason we got Trinket there, and the reason, you'll see, this guy literally dies. So he ports behind a pillar. The Shaman gets CC'd for a second, he Trinkets, and he actually linked very quick. But unfortunately, the lock ported way too late, which allowed my guy to get 2 full bolts off, and that's GG's. If you're 60%, you're getting hit by 2 bolts in the face in the opener, you're gonna die. You're most likely dead. So the bolt traveled around back to the desert and he'd taken him out. So here we usually like to go DH. Melees are just really good to go because they're a lot easier to kill. There are some situations where you can kill the dev, but I think just CCing him is way easier. Otherwise, you're just gonna be struggling to control his damage. You'll see that they do a lot of damage. So it's like your main focus is just we should already have feared the Evoker. The fact that we haven't even CC'd him yet at all is just wild. So we finally do our first CC setup. By then my second rep's already done. We haven't even got train. That was really poorly set up. All because the thing is again we have a really bad habit of waiting to do CC when we should just be spam. Like the Evoker should be on fear the entire game. He should not leave fear ever. At all. He should be feared. Like the fact that then you'll see how much damage they're doing because of that, because nobody's being CC'd. So that being said, we do end up getting a double fear, which is actually really good, but we break it. For some reason, we're on the Evoker. Don't ask why. This is just how they do it. So here I get a full Hodge. This is normally a circumstance where we would win, but now we've already put so much damage out to the Evoker that we don't even have damage on the DH. Thankfully, we do end up going the DH and just killing him, which is exactly what we should have done from the start. So I Magic Bob him, then he walls on top of it. So Magic Bob was useless. Unfortunately, that happens a lot, and we are in voice, by the way, keep that in mind. So here we get a full rep, so Hodge rep. Again, I usually do the most CC like you because I am the X. So here I rep again, so we're just getting max reps. We're hard carrying the team. This was the biggest mistake of his life. He dispelled. Never do that. If your guy's low HP and you dispel versus a Shadow Priest before you start healing him, what ends up happening is you're getting yourself in a mini CC for no reason. So as you see, he literally put himself into more CC in the Disorient, which like that was the dumbest thing he could have done. Now this is a game that we lost. This is a perfect example of what happens when you get absolutely just there was no chance. The only way we beat this is if we go on the Druid. That's it. You're not gonna outdamp a Druid. It's not happening. Druids will automatically win the game if they stay at 40 yards. If you do not go the Druid, you will lose. 100 times out of 100. You have to go the Druid. If you do not, it'll be RNG. All RNG. That's what I say every time. And this guy actually walled at 100% in Dark Pack. So that's not good. Usually you always want to port before you wall. Now Dark Pack you can just use off CD because you don't have to be good with Dark Pack because you get it pretty much every 10 seconds. But like big wall, that's not good. That's not good at all. So here again, we are struggling. We haven't gotten a single CD. We've gotten wall and we've gotten trinket, but we haven't gotten nothing from the Druid. Again, we have to kill Druid. Have to kill Druid. I said this from the very start. Anytime we face a Druid, go the Druid. If you do not go Druid, an H-Pal is not gonna out dampen a Rest Druid. Nothing is out. If it was Rest Druid versus Rest Druid, then it comes down to mana. However, obviously it's not Rest Druid versus Rest Druid, so we have to go the Druid. Anytime you face another Druid, you have to go the Druid. That's all I can say. Doesn't matter what you're facing. If you see a Rest Druid, it means you go him. Whether it's you don't have to sit on top of him the entire game, but you do need to go him on stuns. That's how you win games. So here I get slept. Unfortunately, we do end up. So here I actually end up almost getting one-shotted. A perfect example of a Destro clicking bolt one time and instantly almost one-shotting me. Good old-fashioned wild World of Warcraft. That's what happens when you allow a class to do whatever it wants. So here we do a go. This is where we should go Druid. A full Hajj, we're both on top of him, and what do? Absolutely nothing. We didn't even get his trinket. Out of form. So instead we're doing our damage into the Warlock. We did get Ironbark, but that's useless. Now they have every CD back in the game. So again, next time we play and we face a Druid, I'm going to tell them, go Druid. I will literally go Druid every Hajj go. That's all we can do. Now, if we do that and we still lose, then it's like, whatever, you get countered. So here he ends up kicking the other guy. So here, again, my guy should be kicking asleep. Now, obviously, it can be a lot difficult said than done, because I don't, for a lot of times, I actually don't even have the pet, this guy ends up swapping, really good swap. But yeah, at this point, we Magic Bob just to stop the damage that's coming out. If you can see their damage right now, the fact that I'm able to heal 2 Destro Warlocks is absolutely insane. Especially since we have 1 kick overall, because obviously I'm not going to be able to go out there and just kick somebody. I'll just get perma CC'd. So again, Druid's literally just AFK in tree form because he has permanent immunity. Somehow they thought it was a good idea to do that. I'm just saying it probably isn't the best idea to give a class that's already immune to everything be immune to everything more than it is. So here we get a full Hajj. Again, why are we not on the Druid? The SP's on the Druid, but the Warlock's in Narnia. I don't know where the Warlock... I'm not sure what we're doing. I'm not gonna lie. See, the SP at least had somewhat of a clue in terms of, like, doing shit. But when it came down to the Warlock, there's just situations. I'm not flaming him, but I'm just saying there's just some things that you need to know what to do, and a lot of times we are just like the call outs and the like we're waiting for setups. Like, bro, just we're Destro. Like, it just is mind blowing that people actually think you have to play RMP as a dampener comp. You don't. So here normally he would kick, but obviously we die. GG's. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.